If
Yeah.
you're a new crypto investor who's Bitcoin only, there is more to crypto than Bitcoin. So maybe consider if now is a good time to broaden it out.
Well, look, we're very bullish on Bitcoin. We're very bullish actually on Ethereum. We're bullish on Solana. We're bullish on XRP. Within that index strategy, it'll reflect what the market is doing. And some of our other strategies we may position alternatively. I do think there are a lot of investors out there who have moved into Bitcoin as their first crypto asset for the
Mhm.
first time over the last year. And if I was one of those investors, I would wonder if now is time to broaden out your portfolio.
Bitcoin Zeala stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zeala today and enjoy the new edge. Matt Hougan dives into BlackRock's bold on-chain moves, breaks down Ethereum's bullish future, and explores Trump's potential first 100 days. Let's watch him unpack it all.
Whether we get an XRP ETF, of course, I don't know, and I can't speak to Bitwise's specific ETF. Broadly speaking, I think you have to look at, are people, how excited are people about each ecosystem? One of the things XRP has going for it is that there are people who are skeptical of it, and then there are people who are strongly bullish on XRP. I think one of the challenges Ethereum has had is it's more mixed, where people in this sort of nuanced position. You even heard my take, which was it could be a great time to buy if we see these conditional news environments. So I think an XRP ETF will resonate, particularly with the people who have been bullish on that space, but want exposure in an ETF format. And maybe the fervency of XRP bulls will make it attractive in terms of asset gathering out of the gate. I think your base case should be that the SEC uses its full calendar window to consider this because it's complex. And for complex issues, an organization like the SEC tends to take its time. It's certainly been the case that under this SEC versus the previous SEC, we've seen some things accelerate. So I would think of it, I apologize for giving a nuanced answer, Paul, but I'd think of it from a probabilistic basis. So your base case should be it takes until the end of October before they decide. But I wouldn't weight the probability of it happening earlier at zero because we have seen that happen on a few sort of complex items from this SEC. So if you're weighting at zero, that's probably wrong. If you're weighting it at 100%, you're more certain than I am. It's greater than zero, but less than 100%. The beautiful thing about BlackRock is they're the largest asset manager in the world. They're a hugely respected name, and they're able to introduce concepts to a huge number of investors just from their scale and breadth. I think everyone in the crypto industry, they're a competitor of ours, but I say this
Sure.
meaning it. I think everyone should be thankful that they're out there advocating for the space. I think the message you can read from that, Paul, is that when you present Ethereum to sophisticated investors, some portion of them want exposure to that. That tells you a lot about the direction this is going because more and more investors are going to be presented with this concept of Ethereum in the coming years, right? We're still early in this process. So I see that as a down payment on where we're going and a sign that there is institutional adoption and institutional interest for Ethereum out there.
Bitcoin's price is showing strong momentum, setting the stage for a potential breakout as hopes rise for a U.S. Federal Reserve interest rate cut. After briefly dipping below $93,000, Bitcoin rebounded to test the $95,000 resistance zone on May 1. This recovery follows concerning U.S. GDP data that suggests the economy is contracting, leading markets to increase the probability of a rate cut at the June 18 FOMC meeting to 60%. Historically, rate cut expectations have acted as a bullish catalyst for Bitcoin and other risk-on assets, pushing investors away from traditional low-yield options like bonds. A clean break above $95,000 could pave the way for Bitcoin to target the psychologically significant $100,000 level. Analysts are closely watching key technical levels, including the 111-day simple moving average at $91,300 and the short-term holder cost basis at $93,200. Bitcoin's ability to reclaim and hold above these levels underscores the strength behind the current rally. However, a failure to maintain this momentum, especially if it dips below $93,000, could send prices tumbling back toward the $84,000 range. All eyes now turn to the May 2 jobs report, which could further influence the next leg of Bitcoin's journey.
I'm so bullish on the RWA space, particularly if you include stablecoins. I think we're going to get to $1 trillion really fast. So they will. I think my answer would be RWAs first. But I think you put to an important point, which is people thinking about Ethereum get lost in a lot of these short-term challenges: layer 1 versus layer 2, revenues versus current market cap. If you close your eyes and imagine a world where we have multiple trillions of dollars of stable coins and most assets move over public blockchains, what do you think Ethereum is worth? I think that can help you simplify the investment decision if you have a long-term outcome. Again, is there short-term challenges for Ethereum? Absolutely. But if you think stablecoins are going from 250 billion to 2.5 trillion over the next couple of years, and you think RWAs are going from 20 billion to maybe $1 trillion over the same time period, what is ETH worth then?
Right.
I think it's worth substantially more than it's worth today. And sometimes it's great to take that 30,000 foot view. It simplifies things a lot. I think of staking as asset management, right? We take in money from investors and we help them gain access to those staking returns through our attestant group or Bitwise on-chain solutions.
Right.
I think you're going to see companies like Bitwise doing more and more on-chain, right? We're eventually moving to a world, Paul, where all of asset management exists on-chain. That's the direction of travel that we're going. This is another sort of milepost in that direction. Bitwise intends to be at the forefront of it, but absolutely, staking is here to say it's a very important part of the ecosystem. If you're a serious crypto investor and you're not thinking about it, you're missing out on an important piece of the puzzle. And we're really excited to be playing a role in the growth of that space.
Michael Saylor, executive chairman of MicroStrategy and one of Bitcoin's most vocal advocates, has once again made waves in the crypto world with his bold prediction that Bitcoin is headed for $1 million, and potentially far beyond. In a message directed at both retail and institutional investors, Saylor urged the community to increase its exposure to Bitcoin before its price becomes unattainable. He emphasized that by the time traditional financial advisors greenlight Bitcoin as a safe investment, its price could already be at the $1 million mark. When they say it's a good idea, Saylor warned, it'll be $10 million. Backing his optimism, Saylor pointed to growing institutional interest in spot Bitcoin ETF. Currently, firms like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Wells Fargo have made substantial unrestricted investments, totaling over $19 billion. Meanwhile, another $20.8 billion sits with firms that are still restricted in their exposure, suggesting that once those barriers fall, a massive influx of capital could follow. MicroStrategy itself doubled down on its Bitcoin commitment earlier this week, acquiring 15,335 BTC for $1.42 billion. This brought the company's total holdings to 553,555 BTC, valued at approximately $37.9 billion. Saylor likens Bitcoin's transformational potential to that of electricity or radio waves, something revolutionary that many, like Warren Buffett, still fail to grasp. Technical indicators are also signaling an imminent move. Analyst Ali Martinez noted a Bollinger Band's squeeze on Bitcoin's 4-hour chart, a pattern typically followed by a significant price surge. With institutional adoption growing and technicals hinting at a breakout, Bitcoin's path to $1 million is looking increasingly plausible in Saylor's eyes. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zeala. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.